know, come on, I don't have an intro, but I have toxic waste for you. Who doesn't want toxic waste in a zoo? We are playing Planet Zoo, but we are creating a abandoned map. So if this happens to be the first video you've ever seen of me, don't you worry. We also build zoos here on this Planet Zoo channel, but we have a series where we are creating an abandoned map for people watching or anyone who stumbles across it on the workshop, updating it, actually making a zoo out of it, getting this abandoned map as a base for their zoo. So we obviously have to create some abandoned places. I don't know how I came up with this, but yeah, essentially what we're building today is kind of like this spill of toxic waste something. It will be very green, murky water in the end, but I think this looks still like it is from the zoo in the end. So it's not just abandoned nothingness, it's really still zoo-ish, which was kind of important to me, but yeah, I don't know, I think it is something different to build. You don't usually build that kind of stuff at Planet Zoo. But yeah, I think this still will be something that is probably like inspiring some different ideas on how to deal with this situation, and is also kind of giving you like a task to clean up, because there's a lot of stuff and maybe some useful stuff for the zoo that you're about to build. So there's a lot of dirt and stuff in there. There's an entire bus in there. But I think, if you fish out all of this stuff, you might be able to like use it for the zoo that you're going to build with it, or maybe you just like delete everything and just use the like dump site. Maybe you put the water out of it. I don't know. I won't stop you from anything. I did kind of think about maybe doing this in a way where you either can do whatever you want, or it kind of give like a lore to it, like a backstory or like a goal, something that you have to keep or achieve or something. So, maybe like you can either do whatever you want, or you can like play by a story sort of, to kind of get it different difficulties, to, entice whoever wants to play with it. Some people are more challenge based and some people are more freely creative, I'm definitely the second type. I know that if there's a way to not follow rules, I will not follow rules. Not because I want to break rules, but just because I'm very guilty of trying to, when there's a thing and there's an obvious way to do it, I'm always like, I'm gonna do it differently. And I know sometimes I'm like annoying myself, but I also know that it can be like a strength to kind of approach problems like that sometimes. But sometimes it's just annoying, and you do things way more difficult than what they need to be. That was especially that was challenging in school, because I remember that English, it was always my favorite subject, but sometimes we had like these exercises of like free writing, and you would have like a topic, and I always made it more complicated than what it needed to be. It like others had like 1 page of written homework, like let's say you had to like write a letter to a character in a book that we read in class, like something stupid like that. I would always make it like super complicated from like a super complicated perspective, just because I was like, I don't want to do it in the obvious way. And I don't know, it's kind of like cocky, but I'm not that bad with it anymore. But as a teenager, I was pretty like unpredictable, like wanting to be unpredictable, but sometimes it was still predictable. But yeah, I think it is these personality type things. Mine is the debater, and I don't know, I think it is ENTP. But like basically, like I enjoy trying to look at things from another perspective than my own. in trying to argue things, even if I don't really believe in them. I just like the arguing of it, which isn't to be confused with argumentativeness. Like, I don't argue just to argue, but I think it is fun to think about different situations, and maybe that is part of it. Maybe that's why I do it, because I think it is a very creative type and a very like creative approach to problems type. But yeah, I don't know. I do think not to pay too much attention to these type of things, even though they're interesting. And I mean, it is based in taking a quiz, so it's not like just made out of nothing. But yeah, I think that you shouldn't pay too much attention to this stuff, but it is interesting, and I'm really interested in hearing other people's personality type. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like 16 personality types. Like, if you Google it, it'll come up. You can take like a quiz, and then you get one of 16 personality types, and it is very specific of like how you perceive the world, basically. And it's very interesting. It's like a little science in and of itself. My best friend is like very into it. That's why I know quite a lot about it, actually, because she's like always onto it. And I don't know. I think that's interesting. I mean, maybe you have a different story with it. Maybe your test result didn't fit at all, or totally fit, or you're like super into that stuff too. Let me know your personality type. I mean, truth be told, I don't know you in real life, so I can't be like, oh yeah, that's totally you, but it's still interesting. And oh my god, I did really talk a lot. Actually, what I wanted to say originally in this is that I might not do that long of voiceovers in the next few videos. This video originally, when I put it into Premiere, was very long, and then I realized that I accidentally also put the next video in it. That's why it was so long. I'm not done with the next video, but I'm trying to pre-record a bit because I'm going to have not at all time in the next few weeks, so that's gonna suck. And I'm probably not going to be getting done the extra episodes, like the floating island episodes. I didn't get it done this week either, actually, but yeah, no, the next like 2 or 3 weeks, yeah, they're gonna be hard. I just have a lot to do. It's not like something bad, it's just time. But I try to record. I promise at least one video a week. Like, that is realistic, but I hope that I can get the regular 2, and then once I have more time again, I'll go back to do the additional one with the floating island. But I mean, I right away always said, like, I'm only gonna do the floating island on times where at times where I have the time to do it. And this is not a time like that, so I'm sorry, but it will be back. I mean, maybe I'll get it done, I don't know, but yeah, I think that, you know, time is precious, and I rather want to, you know, make regular videos than the extra videos, because I right away always said that this was going to be an additional extra video and not take away from all the series that we already have, because we do have a lot, and I don't want all the series to take forever to be finished, especially not the abandoned map, actually, because I do want you guys to be able to play with it. So I don't have an interest in, you know, making you wait for a very long time. I think that there will be more of these, like, I want to say, like, special places that you kind of have to, like, dig through, like this side, and the house and whatnot. But I think overall, I think I might do some more of these things, and then some terraforming and some just like more interest to the rest of the map. But I want to keep it relatively open. There's also no paths that are always like connected. It's more like a suggestion of paths, and then some were like harder to path through areas, like this like curved view thing. I already put a path under it because I figured, you know, that is what you probably do, and you know, it's very hard to get paths this way. So I figured I'd just put it there and people can still read it. whatever. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I will kind of connect them loosely, but I still want the park layout to be up to you guys's ideas, because I mean that's what the series is about. I also had this idea of like, do you know in The Sims there's this thing called a shell challenge of like, you know, someone builds walls and you have to make something out of it and you can't change the walls. I kind of had the same idea of like making a, I don't know, chaos challenge of placing like pretty like random things from the build menu all around, and then you guys have to build something out of it, like keeping those things in and just, you know, build around it. I don't know, I kind of like this type of stuff that like gives you a perimeter to be creative, but also like pushes you to be creative in a different way. Because I think if you just build whatever you want, you sometimes tend to do the things you always do and do it the same always. But if something gives you a challenge to work around, that gives you new ways of working things, right? I think I that was really complicated, but I hope you understand what I meant. I don't know, I talked a lot about creativity in this. That was not planned. Like I said, I was planning to tell you that I wasn't gonna really do a full voiceover for this one. But you know what? Like now, how long do we have? It's like 5 minutes. I can talk for another 5 minutes. What will it be? Because maybe that's just me, but I tend to click off of speed builds when the voiceover stops, and it's not even like a conscious thing. It's just like, oh, it's finished, because, you know, your brain registers this like tone of saying goodbye, and you're like, oh, okay, it's done. And I often click off of videos, and I'm like, wait, I didn't even like see the end of this. I didn't even see like the real-time part, or stuff like that. Like I used to watch a lot of Sim Speedbuild too, but yeah, I tend to do this. This is why I always like want to do the voiceover till the very end, even though I'm not really talking a lot anymore. I think to me it is easier to be concentrated on a video when there's like someone speaking. Like I'm easily off track with everything I do, so the more like input there is to keep me keep my brain going with the topic, the better it is for me. And I think if my brain is like that, then surely some of y'all's brains are like that too. So, you know, I don't mind talking a bit more if it means it's easier to concentrate on this. And I sure know that if I were to watch this video, if it wasn't mine, I would appreciate that. So yeah, maybe you guys too. Maybe you guys don't. Maybe you were like, okay, I'm gonna mute her. She's not gonna say anything interesting anymore, and that is totally fine. You can do that. I'm not mad. I hope the music you're gonna listen to is really nice. But yeah, oh my god, I'm in love with this technique of placing the wall decals down. Like, I just seen it. And the wall decals, they really come in handy in this whole thing. So, yeah, they really are a blessing here. And I really did more than I intended to, because, like, right there, I'm building another sort of, I guess, enclosure for a smaller animal. I don't know, I figured it could be a variety of animals that lives in there. So yeah, maybe someone wants to recycle this, maybe you want to do something else with this place, maybe you want to like keep the fence set and put it elsewhere. I don't care. This will be your project once this map is out. I just hope you get rid of the toxic waste. But I mean, no pressure. If you want to live your toxic waste fantasy, you can do that. You know, once I'm done, the map is yours. I mean, I want to low-key also work with it and like do something out of it, but I'll you guys go first. I also did some more work in the background that I didn't include in the video. Like I said, I did put down another video, so I thought this was very long, so I just took it out. It's basically just like bushes and some trees and like a little wall in the back. It's nothing too fancy, and I figured it's enough that to see that when we either do the next video, maybe work on that area more, or maybe for a final tour, which I'm definitely planning on doing. I think that this whole thing has like such a cool aura. Like I've said it before in these videos, but I like these sort of abandoned, creepy places. So that's why I'm also always doing cinematics on this and not the real-time part, because there are no animals to see. But I think oh my god, I was talking really fast there, did I? The cinematics, I think, looks so eerie and creepy. I love that. But yeah. I'm also thinking, speaking of eerie and creepy, of participating in Simply Savannah's contest for Halloween, because I want to do some spooky stuff. But speaking of spooky stuff, we're almost at the end of this. So we are about to hit the spooky cinematics. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you around another time. Bye!